Friday, November 13th, 2015, and the title of this rant will be the GOP, Trump, and Jihadi John. So it was announced this morning that sometime yesterday there was a drone strike. I don't know where it was, Syria, Iraq, and supposedly they got Jihadi John. Now, number one, we know that they would not, meaning the military would not have announced this unless they were pretty sure that they got him. And it isn't definitive. They also got some other guy. I hate to say it. I can't remember all their names. But the thing is, what we also had Trump saying yesterday in Iowa, he had an incredibly great rant. I really loved it. It was just unbelievable. But because I know who he's appealing to. And what was his one line? That if he became president, he would bomb the shit out of ISIL. And what's been going on for the last year and a half is that the United States has been selectively targeting different portions of ISIL in different areas in northern Iraq, in Syria. And because what we know, what I know, what all military people know is that you can't bomb your way to victory. You have to have boots on the ground. You have to occupy territory. You have to protect territory. Now, the areas of northern Iraq and Syria is a pretty large area. I think at one time someone said it was about 2/3 the size of Texas. A lot of small towns, a lot of small villages, and just a couple medium-sized cities. And it's been very difficult to deal with. And unless you have a lot of boots on the ground, you can't claim a town, you can't claim a village, you can't claim a city and hold on to it unless you have those boots on the ground there for a number of years until we eradicate ISIS 100% completely and knock them off the face of the earth. Now, what was it? Mosul's about 1 million people. Raqqa, R-A-Q-Q-A, that place in Syria, I believe 250,000, something like that. So, even if you had Americans that went in there to occupy it, of course they'd be occupiers, so hey, we got to get rid of them anyway. And there will always be some holdovers, there will always be suicide bombers, etc., just like we saw in Lebanon the other day. And remember, earlier this week we had a couple Americans who were killed in Jordan. So there's a lot going on over there. But basically, the bluster that we're hearing from the Republicans in terms of what they would do is exactly what they would do, meaning what they're complaining about is exactly what they would do if they ever became president. Because you cannot bomb somebody and then claim victory if you don't occupy the land. That's been military 101 for the last 2,000 years or more. And of course, all we're hearing from Trump, all we're hearing from the GOP is how feckless, how no leadership, no everything bad about Obama, and they would not do anything specifically different. It is an incredibly complex thing. And maybe even with Russia there, there's a way out of it. And unfortunately, the way out of it might also be that you're going to have to keep Assad in power or get another strong person in there. But, and of course, there's been so many refugees from Syria. What type of government would have to exist, get into place, and actually start doing the types of things that government needs to do for, let's say, even half of those refugees to go back to Syria. Many of them will never go back to Syria, especially if Assad stays in power. So all this bluster that we're hearing from the Republicans, it's just not going to work. Now, someone said today that to really get this done, you need about 30,000 troops on the ground. Well, 30,000 troops, who's going to give them to you? That the Kurds, maybe they got a little bit. Will the Iraqis do it? Will the Iraqi Sunnis do it? Because that's technically their portion of the land. And then when the Iraqi Shia have gone into Sunni areas, yes, bad things have happened. That's not a good term for what did they used to call that? Ethnic cleansing. So you have the Sunni Iraqis, maybe the Sunni Syrians and the Kurds. Maybe they can work together. Don't know if they can work together. A lot going on. You got Russia bombing our friends in Syria. You got Turkey, who doesn't want to help the Kurds because the Kurds would like to have to carve out their own little country out of northern Iraq, northern Syria, southeastern portion of Turkey, and parts of northern Iran. So a lot of players in there: Iran, Iraq, Syria, Jordan, Lebanon, the Saudis. Remember, the Saudis are helping fund a lot of this too. And the Saudis are going to, this is a civil war within a proxy war that's going on. And it's just not going to happen soon. And whatever the compromise will be, there'll be a lot of disappointed parties. And if the Republicans are not in power, they're only going to talk about how there's been no leadership on the part of the president, whoever the president may be. But again, any type of peace right now is vitally necessary, and any type of help that can bring this to a closure and help get rid of ISIL is vitally necessary. And I don't see the United States taking up the predominant position of putting 30 to 50,000 troops on the ground to make this happen. That will not happen.